Hey, how's it going, guys? It's your Retro Future Boy, Ricky Summer here, and today I've come back in time to take you with me to the Outer Worlds. But first, a message from our sponsor.
Nexus Security. Protecting you from the unknown beyond the Nexus.
Alright, as you can see, I'm very excited. So the Outer Worlds, for those of you who don't know, is an Obsidian RPG. Obsidian, the guys who made Fallout New Vegas, the one that everyone loves. And I gotta tell you, with the direction Bethesda's been going lately, love it or hate it, it's just not for me. I had high hopes for the Outer World, that it would swoop in and save the day and be the RPG that we deserve, that we've so wanted for so many years. I'm happy to tell you, it is. So let's get some housekeeping out of the way first before I gush all over this thing. Yes, I did receive the game for free from the publisher, not the Epic Games Store, and that does not color my opinion of the game one way or the other. I was actually going to buy the game anyway because I'm very excited for it, and I just don't make videos about games I don't enjoy. Simple as that. So if you want to call me an Epic shill, sure, go ahead, and then check out my Epic affiliate link in the description below. So the Outer Worlds. I think some of us were deeply hoping that it was going to be essentially a Bethesda RPG clone, but, you know, like, good, instead of, like, what's happened to Bethesda RPGs since Skyrim. But look, it is, and it isn't. It isn't in that it's not one single open world. It's not a sandbox RPG. So if you're looking for something like that, this may not be for you. This is very much more along the lines of Tyranny, which, for those of you who don't know, is another Obsidian RPG. It's a CRPG top-down, you know, like Baldur's Gate. It's a shorter game, but it gives you a lot more choice, so you can replay it several times, and I like that. I like that smaller 20 to 30 hour experience, but let me replay it a few times. Let me try new builds out, let me try new dialogue options, and get a more varied experience every time I really like that. I would rather that than spending 1,000 hours in one save and then coming out feeling like the god of Skyrim, you know? That's just not for me. The sandbox RPG certainly has its place, and I do enjoy that aspect too, but listen, let's not get sidetracked. That's not what this game is. It's set in a solar system. It's sci-fi, dude. Listen, it's set in a solar system, and it's got like kind of smaller chunks of open world. So you got your spaceship, the Unreliable, fantastic name by the way, and throughout the game you're populating it with companions. I think, what, there are 6 companions? 6 companions? And they all have their role and their place on the ship. It feels very much Mass Effect meets Firefly. There's very much a Firefly space western, space frontier vibe to the whole game. But in terms of the gameplay, how it plays, how it looks, I would say Fallout New Vegas had sex with Borderlands, and that's what the Outer Worlds is. It's actually pretty rad. So speaking of gameplay and how the game feels, I actually find it quite interesting. To my sensibilities, it feels like an older game. It kind of feels like playing Fallout 3 or New Vegas, but somehow they've polished up that experience and removed the jank. So it's got this kind of feeling of being an older, janky game that is somehow not janky, but then like just janky enough to give you a little bit of nostalgia. I can't explain it. Could be the stiffness of the animations, I'm not sure, but it doesn't feel like playing Fallout 4. I feel like Fallout 4 wanted to try to be a shooter. This is not. This is an RPG that actually has really good gunplay for an RPG, but it still feels like an RPG. It doesn't feel like a shooter. And, you know, I'm not upset about that. I think I kind of like that. It almost feels like it was intentional. It wasn't so much a matter of, oh, let's skimp on the shooting mechanics. It's, let's just make them simple and straightforward and then focus on everything else the game has to offer. And the game has to offer a lot. So, so the character I made was a long gun specialist. I'm thinking like going down the sniper route, and of course like dialogue, speechcraft essentially. I'm persuading boys left and right. It's magical. And I gotta say, little bit of a negative here, the game feels very easy when I play like this. And it might not even just be my build, but you got a lot of dialogue checks within the first 8 hours or so of the game, and it just allowed me to do so much. It was kind of odd. I'm so used to playing RPGs where it's like, you're talking to someone and it teases you, it goes, oh, if you had better charisma, you'd be able to do that. Or, you know, if you had engineering, you'd be able to do that. Whereas I'm playing the Outer Worlds and I'm going, oh shit, I've got the charisma for that. I've got the engineering for that. And the numbers didn't need to be that high to begin with. So I got free reign. I can just like do whatever I want with these NPCs, which was fun, which was, yeah, totally fun, but also it felt a little bit easy. So maybe it's worth upping the difficulty, but I think that only pertains to the combat, which I'm kind of fine with where it's sitting at the moment. But, you know, maybe we'll play around with it, we'll see how we go. And speaking of doing whatever I want with the NPCs, you can kill anyone. So from what I've heard, every NPC in the game is killable with the exception of one. I don't know who that one is. I have my suspicions, but I'm not 100% sure. And I gotta say, it feels fantastic. The first NPC I came across, I had the option to help him, and I was like, yeah, alright, I'll help you. And then I just like mercy killed him anyway. And it felt right, you know? It just felt like the right thing to do. He's better off now. Alright, so let's talk about the actual RPG systems here. We've got melee, we've got range, we've got defense, dialogue, stealth, tech, and leadership. And these are all headings for more specific skills underneath. So before you reach level 50 on any particular skill, you're pumping it into the category. So if I want to be a range guy, I'm pumping it into range. If I want to specifically use long guns, then I'm still pumping it into range until I get my long guns up to 50. And from that point forward, pretty sure I can still pump into range and boost all those skills under the range category, but then also I can put points specifically into range so I can specialize there. I kind of like it. I haven't seen anything quite like this before, and I appreciate it. You can also respec your character in your ship whenever you want. It just costs more and more money each time you do it. So as you boost these skills, you hit milestones that get you more abilities, like being able to hit headshots and that sort of thing. And some of the dialogue skills have some really interesting mechanics attached to combat, which surprised me and I thought was really cool. So you could specialize conceivably in dialogue and have enemies cower when you enter combat. There's a chance to actually have them cower. And then you could specialize in leadership, which boosts your companions, of which you can bring two with you off of your ship, and then you can just have them kill for you. So you could be a total hands-off pacifist, let everyone do the work for you. That's really cool. Or you could be a sneaky lone boy sniping from the bushes. There's perks as well, and specifically a lone wolf perk, so you could totally go without companions too. But having companions also increases your carry weight. So the inventory, I feel like, is something that might disappoint a few people who are hoping for more of a Bethesda style RPG. Inventory management and just itemization in general isn't that complex. For example, you've only got 2 armor pieces that you can equip, a helmet and a body, so it's just a full suit. So if you're looking for the kind of RPG where you can deck yourself out and really customize how you look to look as fly as humanly possible, which is something that I admit I do enjoy, you're not gonna get that here. And that's a little bit disappointing. Just kind of gotta shift your focus. You know me, I'm not a huge fan of Fallout 4, but I really like the way the armor works in that game. The fact that you can overlay shit and you can really mix and match and customize, that's great. That's one of the best parts of Fallout 4. You don't really have anything like that here in the Outer Worlds. But what you do have, in my opinion, is just a really nice, polished, focused role-playing experience with a lot of choices and, yes, some freedom in moving around the world, even if it is broken up into smaller open world sections. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'm really lost in the world. The world and the atmosphere is fantastic. Going to some of these cities, and I've been to 2 or 3 of them so far, from Edgewater, where everyone feels oppressed, to the station city, I can't remember what it's called, but walking into that place for the first time was magnificent. The lights, and there were just enough NPCs to make me feel like it was lived in. The atmosphere and world building in this game is, I think, incredible. It's top notch. I want to get back into the world to find out more about it, learn about the corporations, pledge my allegiance to one of them, hopefully. I want to be a company man. I want to screw everyone over. And buddy, you can screw everyone over. And I'm not just talking about mercy killing people. There are some dark choices here and it's morally ambiguous. There is no good guy path. For example, the first companion you get, she's a nice person. You really get the sense that she is a sweet human being, and yet she sides with what you might expect to be the bad guy path, at least initially. I don't know if she changes her mind later on, and I found that very interesting, and I like that the game did not guilt me for picking a particular option. So on the whole, guys, what I'm trying to say is, while this is not a direct Bethesda RPG clone in that it's not an open sandbox RPG like you would expect from Skyrim or Fallout 4. I think it is very much the Fallout that we deserve. It's New Vegas without the sandbox open world. Yeah, it's a little split up, but it's giving you that world building, that atmosphere, the rich storytelling, and the dialogue options, the choices. The choices, buddy. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's the first game I haven't been able to put down in the longest time. You can see from how little I upload lately, I just haven't been enjoying games. Buddy, this is it. This is what I needed. I'm back. So I really would love to make some more The Outer Worlds videos, but you know, I don't want to force it. I don't want to make videos for the sake of making videos. I'm not that kind of guy. But yo, let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see of The Outer Worlds. We'll brainstorm a little bit. We'll come up with something cool. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. Taste the game, be excellent to each other, and I'll see you next time. Ricky Summer. Out.